If you look back into what happened in 2018, where you have a global synchronized growth in 2018, and 2019, what we will is that is a synchronized slowdown across the world. All right. So that is why probably give you an answer why that the equity market has been having some corrections towards the fourth quarter of 2018. In terms of risk, what we are seeing is that the ongoing trade tension is one of the risks. Okay. And we always have been saying that policy risk has always been there, okay, especially coming from the central bankers, okay. And besides that, we are also seeing the geopolitical risks that across the world could be another potential risk that could drag down the overall growth and the equity market in 2019. Okay, so okay, if you just a broad sharing about these particular solutions, okay, what we strive to be in UOB Asset Management is that we want to be more than just a product manufacturers. We want to give investors a solution, right? So all this while, we have always been heard that we have always been taught not to put all your eggs into one basket, right? So, and this particular ideas of global income solutions is actually to diversify your portfolio into 3 core funds and 1 on the tactical funds. What are the strategies trying to achieve is that what we want to achieve is, first thing, the concept what we call the 3-3-3-1, all right? This is not a football strategy, but it's actually what we call that you diversify into 3 core portfolio, okay, with 3 different fund management team and 3 distinguished strategy, all under 1 portfolio, which is UOB Asset Management, right? So that is one of the idea that we have. Besides that, the fund, this particular portfolio, we also tailor-made for Malaysian, right? Reason why is because being a Malaysian, you tend to want to have a home bias. You want to have a portfolio that's home bias. Except the fact that the Malaysian market is too small in the global MSCI global perspective. So as such, in a global perspective, you hardly see funds which have allocation into Malaysia. So you need a fund that is specifically have a biasness to Malaysia. And in these 3 core portfolios itself, we have a bias to Malaysia. There's 1 portfolio has a bias to Malaysia. And besides that, what we also recommend on this particular portfolio, okay, the solutions is that we have a tactical booster, right? In this case, we actually like Japan. I think generally market has, especially Malaysian, I think Japan is not something that's very much in flavor to a lot of Malaysian. But why we like about Japan? The first thing about Japan that we like is because of, if we look into the economic fundamental, economic fundamental has pointed to a very positive data ever since Abenomics kicks in, right? And second thing, if you look into across the world, Japan is the only market or the only economy that the government is still using a very ultra-loose monetary policy. Besides that, you are still seeing the government has keep doing pump priming to the economy to boost up the economy, right? And third thing about Japan is Olympic. I think everyone knows 2020 Tokyo will host the Olympic, okay? And if you really backtrack for the last 9 Olympics that happened, okay? Out of the 9 occasions, 7 host countries, the equity markets tend to perform very well the year before Olympic, right? So which is one thing unique about Japan. And on top of that, contrary to a lot of traditional Japanese fund that you see in the market, our United Japan Discovery Fund, this particular fund has a mandate to invest into small and mid cap of Japan, right? And what's so unique about that? Technically, most of the big companies in Japan, they don't dependent on domestic market, right? For example, Toyota. Toyota, most of the revenue doesn't generate in Japan, but dependent on the global, right? And that is what makes Toyota, this equity market become vulnerable, for the big caps become vulnerable, is the movement of Japanese yen. When your yen strengthen, you tend to have a negative impact to the equity market, right? Which it does not happen on the small and mid cap. Reason why is because the small and mid caps are heavily dependent on the domestic market. So your movement of your Japanese yen has a very minimal impact to the small and mid cap of Japanese equities, right? And coupled with the funds that we have to offer is actually a ringgit hedge, so you don't really expose to any FX of Japanese yen.